Hello and welcome back to Pints with Pals. I'm Mike, one of your hosts, and with me is Jeremy and Jason. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Today's beer is from Great Lakes Brewing. It's called Dortmunder Gold Lager. It's a lager, as you can see with the title. I have not had this. Have either of you guys had this?
I've not.
Yes.
Oh,
A long time ago.
okay.
Not to be fooled, Great Lakes is not a Michigan product.
It is
I was
not, no.
fooled.
Chicago, I believe.
It's
So no, it's
Cincinnati or
Chicago?
Cleveland or something. Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
yeah.
Give it a while.
Chicago.
It's
I want to go. I've heard good things.
one of my favorite barrel aged Scotch ales is from Great Lakes. They have a very tasty. I think that's all it's called is barrel aged Scotch ale.
Right.
I don't think there's a fun name for it or anything. So
Is
if
it
you
like
see that, it's darker than I would have expected for a lager.
Gold though.
Yep, definitely golden. It has it's 5% ABV or 5.8% ABV, which is high for a lager, I think, and then 30 IBUs, which is a little higher end.
I poured it into a frosted mug because mine was warm, and
Now
it's
you have
very
ice.
it's pretty much
Very foam.
all head at this point. So I guess I could drink it and make a stash.
It tastes a little fruitier than I was expecting it to.
Yeah. Very fruity. I get sweet malt.
It's sweet. I guess that's what I meant by fruity. It's a sweeter.
No,
it's,
there's definitely fruit in there. I just don't.
it's not in a bad way. There's no IBU. The IBUs do not come through for me. Like it doesn't taste
I'm getting
bitter.
them. I get the bitterness.
Maybe once it gets warmer.
Yeah, so like it comes in at 30 IBUs. I mean, no, I don't think it's very hoppy. I mean, it's bitter, but it's not like hoppy like an IPA or anything like that.
Oh yeah, no. It's more bitter than I would expect a lager to be.
Yes. Well, I can't taste the bitterness though. At IBUs, I feel like it shouldn't be as for a lager, but then I guess the lager just is the brewing process, not specifically the flavor, I guess. Does like cold brewing or under pressure brewing kind of kill some of the hoppiness of it?
So under pressure allows me to make a pseudo lager. So instead of having like the really cold temperatures to bottom ferment, I can still just like top ferment, and be fine with it because what it does is it suppresses a lot of the like off flavors, so like esters and stuff like that. So like some really strong fruity notes that you may not want. Sorry, I got like this fruit fly that's just floating around my face. It's driving me insane.
It was like
No.
off gassing.
Right? Reminds me of a joke. I'll take you guys off after this podcast. That's not a horrible joke.
It'll be in the comments.
It'll be in the
Everybody
comments.
go to the YouTube
Yeah.
in my database.
Yeah,
I keep all my dad jokes in my database.
Nice.
yeah, exactly.
Nice. Like it. I hadn't really tried it yet besides the initial
Okay.
hit. It was or the initial sip.
Mine's not as clear as Mike's is. I'm not sure. Maybe I think I got chill haze in mine.
Did you have a bottle?
Really hazy. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It tastes fine though. One thing I can
Yours
say
looks
that's
like a sports drink.
kind of a lie because it says 6/12/23, and I got this from my cousin in March. So this definitely wasn't brewed. Probably when shelf life of 6/12/23.
Yeah, mine says 9/12/23.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it must be drink by.
Yeah, so that's be drink
Excuse me.
by. So, but it could be the age. It could be a little chill haze that's in there, is causing a weird
Yeah, mine's been in the
off color in
fridge
mine.
for about that long too, so I don't really know if it's hit any kind of, if it turns any kind of off flavors off. It's a weird like 140606. I don't know what that is. Like there's another like a time
Serial
on the
number.
bottom of it, too. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can trace each individual can. So I guess what are you guys thinking?
I like it. It's not a traditional lager to me by
Yeah.
any means, just because it's kind of brutal malty. It's more of like again, like I like Oktoberfest beer, like a Marzen, which is like a really malt forward. I've had other ones too. I'm drawing a blank. A Helles would be kind of malted forward. Fest beers would be from malt forward. So it kind of reminds me more of those instead of a traditional American lager.
I really like it too. I think that the sweetness kind of cuts some of the bitter notes. Would buy again if I saw this on a shelf or at a restaurant. I would order it.
Right.
I like to try it on draft. I'm not liking it in a can. It could be that it is warm. It'll cool down as it goes, which is a bit weird, but
That's backwards.
you're right. I'm definitely getting the IBUs from the hops, though. To me, that's what I'm getting.
Right.
But maybe because it is a little bit warmer.
Right. So I like the way Mike's looks. Like Mike's just had that funky haze, but I like how clear Mike's look. It has a really nice color to it. It's almost like a honey color.
Yeah.
I like that. It's pretty looking.
Yeah, it's a little more amber in color than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
Which is nice, I think. But it's weird for a lager. Like if you'd hand me this, I wouldn't have expected it. I wouldn't have thought lager. And I guess I kind of get that the fest beer and stuff. The Three Floyds, the brewery out in Illinois or Indiana,
Right.
they have Munsterfest because Munster, Indiana is where they're from, and it's their Oktoberfest beer, and that is so full flavored, and there's no like bitterness or anything. It's delicious. I really like that one. I had that this weekend. Speaking of this weekend, did you guys do anything fun, Jason?
I did some more.
Well, I just wanted to make it so that you guys just both talk over each other.
Did some more work on the back room. That wasn't necessarily fun. Pulling up trim that was, I don't know, they had about 100 nails in there. And
Those
I
look
started
like
ripping off chunks
thick
of the
nails
wall.
too, like legit nails, not like.
Penny nails is looking to me.
I don't know why they did what they did, but whatever. So I have to do some patchwork. But did not drink. I didn't have. Oh, last night actually I had honey, one of Jeremy's honey maple. They're not
Oh,
honey.
okay.
Honey blueberry. Jesus. And then I
Take it
drank.
while you can.
I had that since no one else had it. Jeremy does the Yingling's Oktoberfest, which was actually good. I don't like Yinglings. I know we're not doing a review of Yinglings here, but I did like their Oktoberfest.
Okay, nice.
Good to
How
know.
about you, Jeremy?
I went to their annual Apple Festival that's in Irwin, Tennessee. It's like their 45th. I think they started like a year after I was born. So it was going on for quite a while. One of our homebrew buddies, he just moved here like 5 months ago. And ironically, the homebrew club that he joined, like his first month there, he was introduced to everybody. His second month, we voted him as president. So now he's the president of the club, and so now he's trying to like get used to everyone's name and all that kind of stuff. But he's still new to the area, so we hung out at Oktoberfest a couple weeks ago, and then we invited him to go to Apple Festival with us and kind of showed him around and stuff like that, just to check things out. He's really big into like old architecture, so there's a lot of old buildings in Irwin. He was like geeking out over it, and I had him try like a Highland Brewing's Gaelic Ale, which I think Mike had some of those last summer. I think I gave him like a 12-pack of variety of Highland beers. Yeah, the Gaelic Ale is really good. It's a wee heavy, like Scots Ale. So I did that and bought a bunch of just random foods. There's a vendor there. He used to be a food truck vendor, but he kind of quit doing it. Now he does like a few festivals a year. It's a Hungarian Sausage King as the name of it, and he makes his own sausage, and it is phenomenal. It's like chunky meat bits and all sorts of stuff. It's really, really good. And I think that's probably about it. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all I did. How about you, Mike?
So as you guys maybe don't know, we've been finishing our basement for the last, I don't know, it seems like 6 months. It's been about, I think, 12 or 13 weeks. They finally finished on Friday, so we were able to start moving stuff down there. And I've been, like, my lower back's been a little bit messed up for quite a while, and so I've just been wearing a back brace. Well, then last night, so the Saturday, we basically took everything we had in the garage down there. So I was just like lugging totes and stuff, and like I had like those like garage shelves that you have to like put them together. But then I had put all the stuff back on them in the garage, so I had to take all the stuff off of them in the garage, set them on the floor, take the shelves down, and then you have to pinch the braces in between each one, and you can take the shelf off and stuff. It's a big pain in the butt. It's I think supposed to be like a one-time setup, but I've moved them 4 times now. It's not awesome. It's where my 3D printer stuff was all on. So we moved all that stuff down there and put it in like the forever home now. And then we moved all of the beer that I had in our closet just stacked up on top of each other. And now I don't know how I have more beer than I started with to take it up there, but we must have just been putting it there and then not having any for the entire summer because A, it's very heavy beer, so it's kind of gross to have in the summertime. But then B, it was buried, so we couldn't find most of it. So we took all that stuff down there. And then last night we moved our sectional couch, which has 2 power recliners in it down the stairs. Mm-hmm. And I forgot to put my back brace on. And so basically I put it on one of those refrigerator dollies. So like I strapped it down and like real tight. And then I was like I would just sit on the step and then let it go down one step. And I was perfectly fine. And I woke up this morning and sneezed getting out of bed and almost shit everywhere. I was bad. It was the worst pain that I had experienced, and I'm actually not feeling too bad now. Just a couple of ibuprofen and like icy hot. Just getting old sucks. Don't get old. Anybody out there that's listening, don't get old. Well, the alternative sucks more, I think. So get old. So just stay active.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah. And then on that note, have a beer. There's nothing wrong with beer guts. Beer. They're sexy.
Oh, pint with your pals. Also, everyone's had a
this is going down weekend. Really, really, really easily.
Yeah.
I must say.
I keep drinking it, and I think I'm drinking an IPA. I don't know, maybe because it is a bit warmer, but I get a lot of bitterness. So to me, it's not a lager. I would if I had like this and I had no idea what it was and I drank it, I'd be like, oh, it's like it's a lighter IPA, you know, it's not too hoppy, but bitter.
Right.
It's good though.
I think the sweetness kind of takes away from the bitterness a little bit for me. So like because that's why I like that milkshake IPA because it was sweeter, and then the Perrin has that. They have their blackberry IPA. I love that. That's kind of what this kind of reminds me of. I think a little bit is the Perrin blackberry IPA. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Yeah. So. I did a little bit of research. It looks like they've been brewing this beer since 1988. So they've been doing it for quite a while. This is not like a newer brewery that last decade, right? It's been around for quite a while. They said it's an award-winning balance of sweet malt and dry hop flavors. So I wonder if some of the malt, or not the maltiness, but some of the hop characters are from the dry malting. What Jay-Z's probably picking up.
Yeah. Yeah, they've won. I mean, according to this, at the World Beer Championships, this beer has won 16 times since 1994.
That's quite a bit.
And they won in 1990. It won once the gold medal winner for the Great American Beer Festival. So 88 was the first time they brewed it, and it's stuck around.
Mm-hmm.
I read that little quote that you just read as they were 16th in 1994, and I'm like, that's a really really weird stat to like put on there. Like, why are you so proud of
I don't know how many. 12.
Yeah. I do like poking around their website. They have recipes, that you can use the beer to make,
Yeah,
which I thought was
that
kind of
is
cool.
pretty cool one.
Oh,
They do that
did they
pairing
have?
or something like that?
I wonder if they listed their. Oh, so this is the Edmund Fitzgerald Porter. Right. We have had this
Yeah.
this
It's all
on
the
the
company, yeah.
podcast. They did not. That is not my. That was not my jam. I was seeing if they had the seasonal. Their IPA, but they don't have it on here. They don't have it listed on tap. Not their IPA. Sorry, their barrel aged Scotch ale.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know they had
That was
Poking around.
one of the first beers I had. Like, I went to a place and we were just looking for any barrel aged Scotch ales because my wife, like, she never liked any dark beer before. And then we had Founders barrel aged Scotch ale, which is like not curmudgeons. It's Backwoods Bastard is their barrel aged Scotch ale. And she really liked it, and so we went on a crusade to find other stuff, and that was one of the ones that we found. That and Dark Horse, but Dark Horse I would not recommend anymore. I've had so many
Isn't that a
bad
comic
Dark Horse beers.
company?
What's that?
They
Dark
are
Horse
kind
is that kind of a company? Okay.
They are, but
So when my cousin gave me these beers, it was like in a variety pack. So I got the lager, I got their amber lager, which is it's called Elliot Ness, which I just love the name. I had their IPA, which is the Comrade, I think, or Commodore Perry, or something like that. And then they had the Edmund Fitzgerald, which we had not too long ago. But it looks like they do have a barrel aged Imperial Amber lager. That sounds interesting. I'm not sure what it's barrel aged with.
this is a brewery I'd like to go to. So I mean that's a hike for Jeremy, but whenever we can make it to
Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah.
Yeah, that's like a 7
I hear
hour
it
drive or
rocks.
something like that.
Right.
If Drew Carey taught me anything, it's that Cleveland rocks.
But yeah, I don't know if we when we did the Edmund Fitzgerald, we didn't talk about this, but they do all sorts of tours at their brewery.
No,
They
we
could do a
don't
private tour. They also have they have haunted history tours, but they have classes. They'll teach you how to brew and all that at the Great Lakes Brewing Company Hop College.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So that
Come
makes me
down,
wonder
have
how
some
big the homebrew scene is there then.
Yeah.
within the general area.
Cleveland has a ton of Cleveland's a fun town. But
I haven't spent much
Okay.
time in there, but I've been there a few times.
Went to the zoo years and years ago.
Yeah, that 35th anniversary barrel aged Imperial Amber is barrel aged in bullet bourbon barrels. But it's like I don't know what an Imperial Amber is. Oh, it's 12.1%. Holy cow! I would like to try that. Comes out in September.
hey, I can I drive by Cleveland quite often, so I could drive up there and grab some.
You should. I would like to.
Well, that
try.
should be one of your weekend drives then. It's like stop at Cleveland, stay the night, then head on Pittsburgh or Michigan
Right.
or wherever you're going.
Right, whichever way.
Yeah. I guess one thing we talk about, I guess, what is a lager, right? So a lager is bottom fermentation. So what's bottom for fermentation? So there's a certain yeast strand that will ferment at the bottom of a barrel at a lower temperature, so around 55 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius. Someone can Google that. But so you just ferment it that way, and it's really slow process. It's not fast at all. Where ales are top fermenters, so the ale yeast will sit on top. They'll do their job. They'll eat up all the sugars, produce alcohol, and stuff like that. So that's one of the common differences between a lager and a ale. Just kind of want to bring that up before we get too far into it.
12.77.
It is 13 C. I was gonna round up.
13 degrees Celsius. I feel like so, and this may bother a lot of our listeners, but I prefer the metric system, except for Celsius. I want millimeters and meters and centimeters and all that kind of stuff because I can divide by 10. I can't divide by 12. And then like trying to figure out like when you're cutting something, it's like, okay, it's like 3/4, like 7/8. You're like, I don't know. It's something in there. But the Celsius, I'm like, you don't have enough, like at least in Fahrenheit, you have a ton of like from 32, which they're like 32, that's real dumb, to 212. You have a lot of degrees of temperature in there, and I feel like a degree of temperature is quite a big difference. And then in Celsius, a degree in temperature is like a huge difference. It's like
Right.
it's like 5 degrees our temperature, so they have to get pretty granular. Yeah,
Kelvin,
we should all switch to
Kelvin's
Kelvin.
worse. Yeah. Like what's 0 Kelvin? Like negative 200 and something Fahrenheit
think
or
so.
something stupid like that. It's crazy. Yeah, being like a backyard mechanic growing up and stuff like that. 'Cause I remember like buying cheap cars, like buy cars from like the late 70s, early 80s or whatever. Everything was like all imperial war companies that had all the tools. You get like the mid to late 80s, and they have this hybrid. So like, going, is it a 10 millimeter? Is it an 11 millimeter? Is it half an inch? You're constantly guessing. I was always a pain in the butt. I hated that crap.
Yeah, and I feel like that was super hard. And it's if I stop and think about it, it's not that hard. But I have a hard time with like, okay, is 7/16 bigger or smaller than 3/8? I'm like, okay, since three doubled is 6, so it's bigger. So like I have to do math where it's like 11 or 12 millimeter. It's like, oh, I can figure out which one is bigger. Like the bigger numbers don't necessarily mean it's a bigger size.
Right. So that goes back to, I think it was, who was it? Was it McDonald's or Burger King? Anyways, they were selling a 1/3 pound burger. So let's just say Burger King. It's like a 1/3 pound, and people were getting upset. It's like, well, a 1/3 pound smaller than a 1/4 pound. Like, no,
People are dumb.
no, it's not. Yeah, people are
Yeah,
dumb.
I'm one of those people. I'm people.
1/3 pound is bigger.
Right.
3 to make a hole, or a 1/4 pound, you need 4 to make a hole. I mean, this is, I don't know. I remember that as a kid. I'm like, wow, that's just why y'all stupid. Like, you learned this in like elementary.
Yeah.
I mean, math is hard. There's T-shirts made out of that.
Well, whenever you have to write the tip, you're just like math. You figure it out. Here's the total.
I like that
yeah.
they're doing like that new thing where you like can scan the bill at a lot of places, and then like they'll give you like the options to like do everything, and they're just gonna give you like well, one place was like 15, 22, or 99%, and I was like,
What?
well, you were gonna get 25%.
99%.
Now you're getting 22% because you're not getting 99%.
I saw somebody wrote pi as the symbol for pi as a
Oh
tip,
God.
just to round it up. So it's the even number. I was like, oh, I like the humor.
That's 3.141596. I don't know anymore.
Yes, something
I
like
used
that.
to know a bunch of them. I have a
It's about
couple.
approximately.
Yeah. As I watch Jason's fan goes around, I swear, like there's like a smoke. Like he's
That's what
smoking a
I
pipe
was
or
thinking
something.
too. It looked like a
Or
smoke
cigar.
cloud. He's like,
Yeah. Passing around, token away. So I did come up with a potential homebrew, and
what
the
I
cool thing was like, so on their webpage, they actually hint to what they use. So I just did like I do an 80-20. I do 80% Pilsner, so like 8 pounds of Pilsner malt and 2 pounds of caramel 60. And then I didn't realize they dry hopped, but I may or may not do dry hopping, but I do 1 ounce of a Cascade for 60 minutes. Then do it just for the good bittering, and then I would use 1 ounce of the Mount Hood for 15 minutes for like flavor and aroma. And that gets you pretty close to the 30 IBUs. I think it comes out to about 28 IBUs. And then for the yeast, I just use my dry yeast because cheap. I like it. The 3470. And there's another one that's out on the market I want to try. A lot of people that I've been watching like on YouTube and stuff like that. It's called Cellar Science Lager Yeast. They've been using it, and it's like half the price of the other one. So I may even try that to save you more money. But it goes back to what I've said before. I don't have a lagering equipment, so I would do under pressure and just let it ferment out that way. And actually, seems to get done pretty quick too. I wouldn't have to let it sit for like 2 weeks. I could probably get it done about a week or so, and in order to be somewhat carved, and throw it in my keezer, finish it off, and start drinking.
But what you're finding out potentially is that
I need to do some more
it
tests.
can't sit on its stuff. Like if you're going to drink it quick, then you would do it.
The Trube. Yeah.
So once college lets out, are you going to try and find like a beer or a bar, college dorm fridge? That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I want to. I've been wanting to, and I just keep forgetting to check. And usually I was like, I want to check. And it's like this time of the year. Which obviously college is not out of session.
Hey Alexa, remind me February or what is it? April, whenever the kids get out. Look for a kegerator.
Yeah, kegerator. The dorm fridge is what I want. I need a dorm fridge.
So, are you using the same kind of yeast then, like a lagering yeast, or are you not using that because you can still use a lagering yeast? That
I do use lager yeast.
Okay.
Yep. When I do my under pressure.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it needed to be. Have you ever tried to do anything else under pressure? Like, what happens if you use a top fermented?
So the beer I have in the my keys right now, that was top fermented. That was the ale yeast strain. Yep. Cool. I think it tastes fine. Not to dwell on it too much, but something about it messes up my stomach. I can't drink more than a few ounces. I just don't feel good afterwards. Like other people try and they love it, and they don't feel the same way I feel. So I don't know if it's what I made, because I have different hops in there I've never used before, but I've used the same yeast and I've used the same malt before. So it's either the hops or I've overcarbonated, and it could be that carbonation just messing up my stomach a little bit. So I noticed that with like certain like seltzer waters, it can be like highly carbonated. They'll kind of mess with my gut a little bit. That sounds good, tastes good. I just can't drink a lot of it.
Yeah, I feel like that's the same for me with like wheat beers. Even like some, I'm having issues with like the ciders now too, where it's like I really liked them and they taste delicious, but then like all of a sudden I'm like, I don't feel good. So I can have like a cider, and then I'm like, it's like between heartburn and there's just like bathroom issues potentially.
Ciders give me the
rot gut.
Ciders give me the worst stomach ache. Like I'm just keeled over and just in pain. Even like apple juice does it. I hate it. I love apple juice. Love apple cider. I can't. Even if I have like a tiny amount, I'll be keeled over for an hour.
What about apples? Can you eat an apple?
I can eat an apple. It's something about the fermentation, I guess, that's going on with like apple cider. Because if you just leave it in there, it'll ferment.
Can you find unpasteurized cider?
Yeah, does the same thing.
Weird. It's just all this is just a squished apple. I don't know. That's strange. That sucks though. Feel for you.
It does. I love it. So to change my review or to give a review, this is a thumbs up for me now. It's it cooled down and now I don't get the bitterness.
I know mine's warmed up and I can taste the bitterness.
Oh.
Because I feel like even like some of those other beers we were drinking when they warmed up. What was the one that you guys Two Hearted? They taste terrible warm, or cold if you're me. One of them you were saying you had to drink like immediately. Like you had to slam it and it can't get warm at all, and I can't remember what it is.
I prefer Two Hearted like ice cold.
Yeah.
I don't wait on it because it gets more. It's a weird bitter flavor to it as it warms up.
It tastes off or something. It's not a...
Yeah, I would still give it a thumbs up. It's definitely
almost definitely thumbs up. Yeah.
So I think this might be our first unanimous thumbs up beer.
3 thumbs up.
303s.
Drink it cold.
3 out of 3 pals recommend.
Drink it cold. Drink it cold.
Yeah. Great Lakes, Dortmunder Gold.
Yeah. Sadly, I can't get this here. I have to go north to get it.
Well, it's in between us, so it's a good.
But I mean, I kind of have the recipe. I guess I could try to make it.
Good try. I think you don't have you don't know the yeast they use, right?
No, I don't know the yeast, but I mean, I would just go, like I said, I would just use a cheap yeast just to see what it tastes like and maybe change stuff here and there. Because like I said, I want to brew more this year, and I definitely have. I brewed a lot of beer this year, like more than I ever thought I would. The year's not up yet. Let's have a few more beers I want to do.
Alrighty, I think that's a good wrapping up point.
Yes.
I wanted to thank everybody for tuning in, and don't forget to have a pint with your pals.
Please drink. Yes, please drink responsibly. Almost messed that up.
Please drink. Yeah.
Please drink. Full stop.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the Discord. Let us know what we should drink next.
Yeah. Until then.
Cheers.
Cheers.